Hello, today I have a Ford Transit Connect. This one's 2007 and it's a crank no start situation. See here I'm using my older scan tool because it's an older car. I just thought I'll give this a try on it. This one I've got the air conditioning. We can forget about that because it doesn't have air conditioning. The fuel rail system pressure is too low. I've got 87, that's a P0087 61C. And what else have I got? The clutch. I've got an 87 ODD. Fuel rail pressure too low as well. That could explain it. Maybe a leak-off test on the injectors and see if too much is getting returned. Something like that. But you see this, the third cylinder is filling up. This is cranking only. Just crank it for a couple of seconds. See that? That's a continuous flow. That's not what you want. Continuous flow, it's just filling up. Now that I know I've got too much leak off on cylinder 3 going back through the injector, it can't build up the pressure in the common rail, so it's not going to start. So I'm going to take off the pipe at the common rail and fit a connector onto it in the hope that if I blank off that injector, it'll allow it to build up pressure and run on 3 cylinders, but it'll at least run, and that'll prove that changing the fuel injector is going to make it run, and I'm not going to find any other hidden problems before going to the cost of putting an injector on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you the tools I'm going to use to do it. This is the kit I'm using. I don't really need to use this at the moment. I'm going to take one of these adapters, and then we find cylinder 3 is this one. That's the third one. 1, 2, 3. So I follow that to here, the top one right there. I'm going to fit this on in its place of the pipe. 17mm spanner or 11/16. I'm going to take that off, put that on, and see if I can get it going. That's it fitted. So this pipe is loose. It's not going in. I don't want to block the other end of the pipe. I could have done, but these ends go on here. No fuel can come out of that. No fuel's going to go through the injector. I'll go and see if it'll start. It started. It's not running on all cylinders. Actually, well, you might be able to hear it. It's not on all cylinders. So what does that tell us? It tells us the leak-off test was correct. There's a fault with an injector. The code read said there was a low pressure. The leak-off test said which injector was faulty, showing us that. Only want to see a drip on the leak-off test. Don't want to see a squirt. Definitely don't want to see a continuous run like, water from a water fountain that you drink from. It's never going to build up pressure, so this way I know putting a fuel injector on is going to be okay. Now I've got a second-hand fuel injector, so I'm just going to change that. I'll not film it. I'm going to change it, put it on, and see what it's like on all cylinders and if that's okay. But it's just a way that you're probably aware might help somebody if you want. If you want to diagnose a no start diesel crank no start. Got a low pressure fault code. If you don't get a low pressure fault code, you'll probably see it on the live data that it's not building up pressure. 250, 300 bar. If you're not, usually it's higher when it's a crank no start. It'll be higher than that, higher than the 300 bar, because it's not firing, so it builds up pressure. But when it's really low, I don't think I actually checked it on the live data. Can't remember. I think I just looked at the fault code and then did the leak-off test, but you'd look at the live data anyway, check to see what it is, and then you've got a before and after. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and fit this injector before it gets too dark. It's a second-hand one, but it's an old van, and I just want to do this to get it going. That's it in. Second-hand injector under there. Just moved the pipes out of the way and pulled it right out. It came out easily. New injector washer. Didn't use the old one again. clean the seat up. I could do a video on that another time, cleaning up the seats, doing an injector change if that's useful to somebody. But like I say, I just want to see a drip on the leak offs. But we know it starts. I haven't started it with this injector yet. I'll just see what that's like and then check for leaks. But this is a second-hand injector. Let's see. Let the glow plugs do the thing. And then, has it started? Good. I'll just check for leaks and then that's this one done. Ideally you wouldn't check with your fingers. I could see it wasn't leaking. These things are under a lot of pressure and you wouldn't check with your fingers. You're better with a cloth or something, or run it, then switch it off. After you've switched it off, then it's not under the, it's not under the pump, then you could check it for leaks. If it's dry, then it's probably okay. Anyway, that's how to check a crank no start with low fuel pressure on a common rail diesel. Okay, that's it done, and I'd like to say it's Christmas time here. I'd like to say thanks for everyone that has supported me by just watching the videos. That's great if you watch the videos, or leaving a like, or leaving a comment, subscribing, anything that you do that supported me. Anybody that's left comments, that's helped me improve. I haven't really done that much in the last year. Things weren't quite going as I wanted, and I just haven't been filming as much as I should do. But I am looking to get myself a bigger van. Find the Transit Connect wasn't quite big enough. In some ways it was ideal because it could fit into areas to park it easily when there's not a lot of parking spaces. But I just can't get the tools on, and I hate turning up not looking prepared. So I'm going to go for it in a better way next year as soon as I've got a van, which I don't have a larger van at the moment. But I would like to get into doing more filming, and I would also like to try and meet up with other YouTubers throughout next year. And maybe meet them where they're working, or meet them at some event somewhere where they're all getting together. That's something I'd like to do. And just keep sharing what I do. If it's the way I do it, if it helps somebody, that's great. And that's what YouTube is all about, helping each other with stuff. And hope everybody has a good Christmas, or whatever it is that you are doing with your holidays. Hopefully you get a break. And thanks for watching.